Alright, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. We got a good one today. We got a few things to do. First of all, we have to announce the trailer giveaway that we're going to be doing on Sunday. That means you are going to be enrolling into that by commenting down in the comments today. We're going to be doing another Moss chain floor trailer from Southern Skinning. So go ahead and to enter, simply write down Moss, M-A-S, down into the comments, and that will enter you into the giveaway. I will be announcing it on the Sunday video, which I will be recording on Saturday. So go ahead and get your entries in before Saturday. I'll probably do it like midday, so you've got a little bit of time on Saturday if you forget. Second bit of thing that we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at a new truck. It's out in beta. It's a Mack RD800. From VD Modding. It's still in beta, alright? So there's a lot of good things going on. Few bugs and errors we've seen here and there. They're not really incredibly make or break, but I'll get into those and I'll be breaking it down into all of the build options. I'll go over some notes that VD Modding left for us, as well as some things for the future. Some ideas that he has and maybe some ideas that I would have. Of course, your mileage may vary, so we could put tons of options on this thing, tons and tons. I'm just talking about getting it to, a nice stable place where we have some of the most common things that we have on a full release. So, but again, this is just in beta, so we're going to be going over those. Then we'll take a short drive, and we are going to be featuring a trailer that has just been updated. It's going to be 850 Modding's heavy logging trailer. Otherwise known as the 12-foot trailer, not because it's 12 foot in length, it's 12 feet wide, which is pretty freaking wide. So that presents some challenges, but this truck is going to be set up for heavy haul. That's the way I'm building it anyway. So let's go ahead and look at all the details and build options for it right now. Alright, so there is the truck as it stands when we first open it, before we put anything on it. So some quick notes for you. Just want to go over some of the notes that VD Modding has put in there, emphasizing that it's a beta. Some of the new things that he's put into it, because, from the inside, it's kind of looking like a Superliner. Obviously, from the outside, we have a completely different build. It's a brand new build on this RD800. So that new model is one of them. The other thing is that there are swinging mud flaps, so you might notice that as you're going down the road. Nice little touch. Speaking of swinging, the cable on the CB also swings, which is pretty cool. And as you can notice right here, we just have to go ahead and rotate it around. You see the fifth wheel is tilted, which is what it would normally be before coupling with the trailer. So that's kind of cool. Nice little touches. So a couple things that still need to be worked out. We've seen, as I'm going through them, I'll kind of point them out. Right now, there's no GPS built into it, which is like, I wish I had a GPS node. It's not like absolutely mandatory. And I know a lot of you actually drive and have that challenge of not having the GPS and just follow the map and stuff like that. But it'd be nice if you had a GPS. Just throw up a node for it. And the other thing is, we'll see on the inside, there's some area texture is missing, and there's like a little pink area. It's the cable that's connecting the CB to the ceiling. So we'll take a look at that. But those two things, actually, VD Modding has already responded and said, don't worry, I'm on those things. Someone else had mentioned that the headlights don't work. So, we can actually see that the headlights are working here. They come on, but apparently they don't throw light. So that's just something that's going to happen in a beta. He's already on that too. He's already said that he's going to look at that. Apart from that, he mentioned himself in the release of the beta that there are no red node lights. So if you want some of those lights, you might want to be using it simultaneously with the Superliner. I think the light package that comes with the Superliner, you're going to inherit some of those things. So that'll give you more options with lights. Also, the other note, not really about the truck, but you absolutely want to put up on the truck. For those of you who are not Patreon subscribers, he released a wheel pack, a Mack wheel pack, and it fits and works absolutely beautiful on this truck. So go ahead and grab that. Just like the truck, in the beta and the release, the wheel pack is completely free. So you can grab that and throw it on. Besides that, stuff in the future, before I go through all these build options, is he's looking at an option for an additional dashboard, something that's a little bit more simplified, doesn't have tons of gauges on it, and possibly also thinking about a PTO control on the dash, which is kind of cool because a PTO, power takeoff control, it uses the engine power to control other things like hydraulic stuff, and that makes you kind of wonder, what exactly is going to be operated here? Like, is something going to be on hydraulics? Are we going to have like an arm? Are we going to have, what's going on? Which kind of gets into his next point. Is there is, he said, another secret decoration which is still being brewed, I guess. So that PTO control is kind of interesting. And right now you have a couple options with the dash, but it's just the one style. His plan is to have the 2 different dash styles, have them with 3 different colors each, and with 3 different trim levels, so you'll have a total of 18 different variants for the dashboard alone. And I'm sure there's other things that he's going to be doing. Right now, you can change the color and change the style of the bumper right here, but as is, the bumper is just, like, you don't get variations of the bumper. I imagine that's going to change. So let's just go ahead and get into all these. As far as cabs, you got 1. As far as the chassis, you got 1, just set up as a 6x4. Engine and transmission, that's to your liking, though I would like to mention that for the transmissions, he's actually got a lot of transmissions preloaded from Fury 6. So he's got 12-speed maxi torque. He's got I think a 13-speed maxi torque. Is that right? He's got a 9-speed, a 13-speed. So for those of you that like other shift patterns, these are already kind of preloaded for you. So that is nice to see. Let's go ahead and start with the inside, because that's what we usually do. And you do see we already have some styling options here, which is way more than I would think from a beta. So we can go gray and dark, or we could go gray and dark without a door panel. So look at this side, it looks more or less finished, and if we do it without the door panel, that looks kind of cool. I don't know about you, but I just think that is so cool without that door panel. There's obviously, you're thinking, okay, you just took that texture off. Yeah, but once you take that texture off, you have to create the texture that would be below with all the screws and all that stuff. So that's kind of cool. It kind of, if you're into that like vintage type of truck, that, the older truck, maybe it's been beat up a little bit, the door panel's been taken off or fallen off, or you're just setting it up to be like a basic truck. Like, it's a work truck. I don't care if there's a panel on it. We actually have that modeled, so that's cool. We also have, we actually have a ton here. So I'm just trying to stick with the dark, the gray and the dark. Let's see, what else do we have? So we've got a gray in the dark, got a gray in the dark without the door panel. Do we have any other gray and dark? Gray and dark premium, and you see we got the tufting there, and then the one without the door panel. And then if we go in and choose blue, I'll just go ahead and do a search for these. We've got blue without the door panel, blue premium, blue smooth. So that's pretty cool, and that's the colors, the styles that you get. And we're basically following that same pattern, only instead of just blue and gray, we can also get it in tan. This is showing the premium version without the door panel. And so you pretty much have those 9 options, right? 3, 6, 9, yeah. So those 9 options to style it, and you also have additional options for the panel itself, as we can get into right now, because this panel, you can get it in a dark panel, you can get it in a gray panel, and you can get it in a wood grain panel. All 3 of those I actually like, and it just kind of depends on what style you're going to originally pick. For me, I'm probably going to go with a dark gray. I'm probably going to go the dark gray without the door panels. Oh, that was wrong. Without the door panels. And I'll start with that as my base. And then when I'm clicking on the panel, I do like the gray panel, but once you hit the dark, watch this, it really emphasizes it a lot more, especially like to create depth with the shadows. Or you could just go with the wood grain. That's up to you. What else do we have here? These are actually, some of these are for the outside. bumper. So the gauges, you can get them in this standard black gauge, or you can get them in chrome, whatever works for you. Hood blinker, that's up there. Front mirror, you can see from this side. You can build this from the inside or the outside. And this kind of gets to the way the whole thing is shaped, and because it's so big, if you go to put that other one on, it's hard to see. I wish these could be lifted just a little bit, unless he's trying to keep it authentic to the truck. Because you see, I can see just fine. I can tilt it down a little bit more too, and I'll be able to see just fine. But like this perspective right here is like, I feel like I'm way too high. I feel like I need to drop it down in the seat, and then it makes that mirror really hard to see even when you tilt it. Not like bashing VD modding or anything. It's just a preference, something to think about. Steering wheel, well, we've got a 3-spoke, and we've got a 3-spoke in gray, and we have a modern, and we have a modern in gray. And obviously you can put whatever sort of accessories you want on that wheel itself. Again, I think the rest of these are all, so we did gauges, those, it's bumper, it's the flaps, the mud flaps, and F bracket is outside. This is all for the air filter over here. Main mirrors, we have, I'll go through them. We've got chrome, and we've got chrome with a golden dog. What does that actually look like? Chrome with a golden dog. Okay, so it's actually on the outside of the mirror. So whenever I go through those with the golden dog option, you know what it means now. We could do fully painted with the golden dog. We could do painted, so you still have some of the aluminum or chrome. And then one option with the golden dog, stock, and stock with the golden dog. Okay, so those are our options for that. I think this is going to be an option. That's just the front flaps, and these are other options, I believe, from, yeah, these are outside. So not all of these are going to be inside. I believe this is for the visor. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, although we will check it out. It looks like it's kind of coming through the roof there. If I get rid of it, see that line? It kind of disappears, and then it comes back. And you can see it a little bit right there, too. You should be able to see it a little bit right there. CB radio. So this is what I was mentioning about the missing textures. Just these two little bits right here. And I've seen one other person comment on that, so I know it's not just me. We're probably not just talking about a mod conflict. Usually when you see that, you're like, I got a mod conflict. But I went through and I couldn't reconcile it, so it might be on the truck itself. All of these other nodes are for other things that are outside. We've already covered the main mirrors. There is no internal light right now. I wasn't really expecting it. This, by the way, in case I haven't mentioned it, this is a free truck. Free in the beta, free when it's going to be released. Pretty cool. And I was thinking, you know, this is what more or less what I was expecting the inside to look like. I know he was working with a brand new model, which, I mean, that I think should actually warrant some pay, like payware. Sorry, those of you that like to just use the free mods. But I was expecting pretty much just like this, something that looked very similar to the Superliner inside. But now that he's talking about doing a second version of the dash and having like 18 different variants, depending on the trim levels and the colors, I think that's absolutely amazing for a free truck. That pretty much wraps up the inside. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the options on the outside. There are actually quite a few more than I was expecting for a free truck. Bumper, you do have the one shape, but it comes in stock chrome with painted panel, stock painted, and stock painted with the panel in your standard, I guess, just brushed aluminum or something. You can put lights, as you can see, on all of these, so that's cool. You do have a really cool banner. I like how it's not just a rectangle. This actually has some texture on it, and it looks like it's been used a little bit. That's so cool. As far as the headlights go, we've got stock chrome, or we just have the regular stock. Not too much difference between those. There's a logo that can go on the bumper. I'm going to probably put it on mine because you can't have too many Mack signs on it, for those of us that love Mack trucks. For the grill, you can have it stock, or you can have it painted. Completely up to you. We do have the nose. We can have that logo be stock, or it could be decked out with a chrome backing. That actually looks pretty cool. And then the ornament, of course, we're gonna have a golden dog. If we're gonna put it on the mirrors, we absolutely got to put it on the front of the truck. This is more or less what it looks like. There's your golden dog. Of course, if it were up to me, I'm probably gonna go with chrome. I'm not a big fan of the gold myself. That's just a personal preference. No, we don't want to get rid of all those. I accidentally clicked on that. So making our way over here, we've got the hood blinkers, and we can get these. Let's go forward a little bit and hit the ground and take a look at it. We can get it in stock, or we can get it in stock chrome. So you can see it's just got an outer shell of it. These things are going to be in the back, but we do have these front flaps. Let's back up a little bit. And then we can get them in 4 different variations. It can be Mack Black. Here's Black Mack 2. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I was wondering about that. Earlier, I had the truck painted white. It looks like this is actually, the inside is changing based on the color that you have it, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, it does. It changes with the color of the truck. That's so cool. All right, so going back to these options, we've got the first version, which is black and white. The second version, which is going to take your color. Then probably the same thing I would imagine here in the white Mack 2. Just make it look white, or does it inherit the color? Oh, it doesn't. Okay, this white Mack 2 does not get the color of the truck that you pick. This one does. So again, if we change this back to red, or really fluorescent red, then that's what it's going to look like. Oh, we got to change that color. Let's go ahead and put it back. That looks good. I might actually build it that color. All right, so let's go ahead and move around to the side here. We also have another mud flap, and it's going to be the same options. Black, Black 2 inherits the color, and 2 versions of the white. This one is going to be that same style. We also have straps for the tank. We can get them in chrome, we can get them painted, or we can get them in stock. And depending on how you want to do the tank, that's going to kind of decide what you do. Here's the tank stock. Here's the tank stock chrome. Here's stock full painted, and here is stock painted. That's kind of cool. So it leaves these steps in that original aluminum. That's pretty cool. Lots of cool options for it just being a beta. Kind of going back to the visor here. Let me go ahead and click on it. This sun shield. I'm going to go ahead and take a profile look. And there we go. So that's what it looks like without it. I kind of have to stay right there. Actually, I don't have to stay right there. It's highlighted. I'm going to pick the sun shield and we'll see. Boom. That is added to it. That's pretty cool. Obviously, cabin lights are pretty standard. Gets you like the 8 or 9 that's straight across. Do that however you want. You also have the option of horns. Mack horns, Wolo round with a cover. So up to you what you want to do with that option. Something that, unless I missed it, I don't believe there are any options for beacons at this point. I would like to request beacons, especially if I'm going to be doing anything heavy haul like that. Definitely need a set of beacons for there. Where do we go? We go around back, and we're basically looking at the exhaust. The exhaust is this last one here. Chrome curved double, stock curved double. And then we also have 4 different variations for a heat shield. I'm just going to pop around here so you can see it. Aluminum type 1, aluminum type 2, chrome type 1, chrome type 2. So lots of variations. Again, for a beta, that's pretty good. Pretty good. Is this the trailer cables? No, this is the chassis. I believe there's another one. If we rotate at a certain angle, we can see the options. There it is. Trailer cables, it's just the one option, so it's basically just a placeholder at this point. And we can get this chassis in the stock that it is now, or we can get it painted. Some of you might like that. That's actually not looking too bad. Mud guards. So quite a few options here. Stock, which is nothing. You can get it stock chrome. Actually, is there an option if you click on it? Yeah. So you can get stock, that's the basic aluminum, stock chrome, stock half chrome, stock half painted, stock painted, and that is it. You can also get, I believe, some flaps here. These are the same options that we had before. We have the stick. These look so good that match the paint on it. So cool. 3 options on the back here. So this is really just one option for the rear bumper. I'm not sure if any more options are going to be coming. Lights look like they work. But maybe he's going to wait until he can get the all the light nodes worked out until he offers some more variations to the bumper. Honestly, I wouldn't put anything more crazy than that other than maybe a couple on the inside for reverse lights or something like that. And then these 2 options, they're basically the same thing, mud flaps. Choose which ones you want. I'm obviously going to choose the one that matches the color of the paint. So that's pretty cool. That pretty much covers a lot of the options here. Let's head on over to the filter though. So for the filter, we can do the inlet. We can do the inlet brushed. We can do it stock chrome, or we can do it painted. Might just go ahead and leave that chrome. And then the air filter itself, we could just leave it as the, we could just stock cleaner. Is that right? Oh, sorry. Looks like we just did that one. My fault. No. Inlet we did painted. It looked like it was the same thing. Am I going crazy here? Let's leave that chrome for a second while we head over to the air filter itself. Brushed. There we go. That's kind of weird though, because this top part, which is basically the inlet, it's like you don't get a choice. So if we change that, that's weird. Okay, so if we change the inlet, if we change it to brushed or chrome or painted, it doesn't really matter. Like if we leave it chrome and then we want to leave the air filter, let's say we want it brushed, the inlet also changes to brushed. So that has to change there. If you're going to have a separate node, it can't be overwritten by the other thing. The bracket itself that's holding it can be brushed, can be chrome, or it can be paint. There's the paint. Did I leave it on long enough to see the chrome? That's not chrome. That's like a color. Yeah, so some work needs to be done with this inlet as well as the brackets so that they reflect what they what the options actually say. Besides that, we've pretty much covered most of it. My only concerns, and I don't know if they're really concerns for me, I want a few options for the bumper. Give me a GPS, maybe work out the texture that you can see here from the outside, those pink colors. And yeah, just straighten out some of the wording and options for this air filter. Besides that, we're looking pretty good. Again, someone reported that the headlights don't work. They're not throwing any light. If that's the case, we definitely need to clean that one up. Okay, what is this? I missed this one. It's just only on the right side. Battery box chrome. Okay, so we do have some boxes. So the bracket that's holding it on is also one of the options that changes. So battery box chrome, and then that bracket, I think it's these two, are going to change to painted with this option. Yeah. And then you got a stock one, and that changes the overall look of it, plus those. And then we're going to go back to probably, yeah, everything being painted. So to what variation do you want paint, or aluminum, or chrome in this case? Chrome actually looks pretty good. Not too bad, and it breaks up all of the color that's going on. So yeah, that's about all the options that we have here for this beta release. Not too bad at all. And we saw the inside, we saw the outside. Yeah, that's pretty much all the info on it. And let's go ahead and take it for a drive. Alright, so we have picked up the load, and it is pretty noisy here, but let me just kind of go through it. This is how I put everything on. I am using the Mack wheels from VD Modding, the free ones that you can get on the Patreon. That's also, by the way, how you get the link to the truck. Again, it's free. Don't have to even be a paid member, although throwing him a couple bucks, not too bad considering the detail and all the stuff that he's putting out. But that's more or less how I put it. I have the oversized banner on there. Did kind of a darker green on it. A little bit darker green than I normally work with. And I just decided, mix it up a little bit. You saw how those mud flaps look. I just decided to keep them white for this, since I had used that option in the build quite a bit. It's always nice when you can see different types of options. We have a single exhaust, and I went with the first option on it instead of the circles. Got a little box there on the side. Looks pretty cool. I just kept it in aluminum. Or is that in chrome? I can't remember which one. Pretty standard. Went with the paint because my colors are basically black and that green. And I just went with the standard full for that fender. And then we have, of course, the heavy logger from 850 Modding, which has just been updated for 1.54. Thank you, 850 Modding. Looking good. And let's talk a little bit about the engine and transmission, because this is about 149,000 pounds that we got to get. We're not going very far. It's only about an hour 40, hour 50. Let's get our crank down. So this is a SerialBlack Mack engine. It is the Mack EA9. This one happens to be a 610 horsepower variant, which I think is pushing it for 150,000 pounds, 2,050 foot-pounds. And we're going with a Super 18 for the transmission. The Super 18 is actually from Fury 6. You can get it free on Steam Workshop. And this one happens to be an 18-speed with 2 hidden gears. So as we can see, I'm going to pop on this other camera here in the bottom right. And now we can see this shifter here on the right, we're not going to have anything to do with it. We're going to be doing everything with this main. And basically what it is you're shifting it like an 18-speed, but between third and fourth, we're going to have a hidden gear. But it's going to be in the upper range. It's really weird. So we're in the, let me go ahead and tilt this down a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. At least just for a second. So normally you have first and you have second. We're in the low range, third and fourth, but in between third and fourth, there is another gear, but you have to get to it by going to high range and going bottom left, as if you were going into low in the low range. All right, so that is where you have this hidden gear. So you actually have 20 gears. Why? Because once you're here, just like every gear, you can split it. So there are effectively 20 gears, and I think, so if you're going through it completely, it sounds kind of weird. You'd drop it down to the low range. Is it any quieter inside? I think the windows... No, the windows were down. That might help. It's a little quieter. There we go. So you would have first, if you were going through every gear and you were splitting them, first low, first high, second, third, and let's say you were in third high, before you go to four low, you actually take it out, put it in high range, drop it to the bottom left, where low usually is in the bottom range, and that is your in-between gear that you can now split, and then you would split, drop it back down into the low range and go to fourth, and then upper range to continue with 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, what normally happens is people are just going to have a preference. Basically, the way I look at it is it's an optional... it's kind of like an optional fourth gear is basically how I think about it, or an optional third if you're coming down. So if you're climbing, you're not going to go third, go back up, go back down low range to go to fourth, and then up range to go to fifth. I think what's going to happen is you may have a preference, because there is difference in this gear, the fourth in the low range, and the hidden gear right above it. So you're probably just going to decide, you know what, based on what I'm doing, I'm in third right now, I'm probably just going to go to this hidden gear, and then I'm going to stay there and go to fifth, and you're going to skip fourth altogether. Or you might have a preference to go fourth, and then that next gear, that hidden gear, yep, and get that squared away. So you're in fourth, take it to the upper range, bring it over for that hidden gear, and then maybe you're just going to replace fifth gear with that one. And coming down, you might want to have a preference for how you get it. Either way, it's kind of weird, but that hidden gear is in the upper range, bottom left-hand side like low is in the low range, but you have to get to the high range to do it. It's kind of weird, but it's different. It gives you essentially 20 gears. I ran this already with 135,000 pounds, and boy was I glad that I had 2 extra gears. I used them. Now we've got 150, and let's see what happens. All right, we got our headlights on. I'm going to not keep the windows down because it is so incredibly loud. Let's get the parking brake off, and we'll get out of here. Take a look at the map. Pop that thing up because we don't have a GPS. Come on. Okay, so we're going out to the left. Just make a turn here. Alright, we'll start out, actually we're going to start out in low. Oh, that isn't going to work, is it? That isn't going to work, folks. Alright, we've already lost the game. So let's go ahead and back her up. By the way, we have 4 reverses too. So we've got a split on the low range, and we have a split on the high range. Alright, so we got nowhere fast. Good thing we got a short drive today. I was also kind of anticipating that, because who knows how long it's going to take me to move this 150,000 pounds. It's a big load. And I'm using all the splits in it today. Always kind of difficult to see in the mirror too, because this thing, in case you don't know, this trailer, look how wide it is. I mean, you're just looking basically right at the logs. It's really hard to back up too because of that. Alright, see you later, guys. Do I get any direction here? Yeah, let's go to the right where it's not blocked off. That'll help. Get the 4-ways off. Cruise around, take a look at the outside in Texas. And yeah, I haven't forgotten, we're going to get back to Missouri for sure. I just wanted to do a logging run, and this is one of my favorites. It's also one of the ones that isn't near as steep with super sharp turns. We're basically going straight out to the road here if we look at the map. So not too bad. But we will be getting back to Missouri so we can go to do some underground drop-offs and pickups. We get a rolling start here. We can start it in first instead of low. Not a good day to take out a tanker. Get the 4-ways on. So we're not using the hidden gear, we're just going to go 4th. And we'll go straight up to 5th. Maybe. Oh man, we lost a lot on that. We're going to have to go back down to 4 high. I was thinking I wouldn't have to use all of them. I was dead wrong. Good detail on those logs. Yeah, for our purposes, we're going to go ahead and get those off. You can see what gear I'm in. 6 low. We coming up on a town here. I know that says 50, but it's probably going to slow down. I don't know which way we're turning. Eventually left. Okay, we'll just stay here.
Go straight. Keep left. After 50 yards, turn left. Turn left.
Nice. I haven't used SerialBlack's engine in quite a bit for this Mack engine. This thing looks like a beast. This thing absolutely looks good. You see that on how I got the green writing on the hub cover? Use the same color. It's actually on the inside of the rear wheels as well. You can't tell though. Cool detail on the trailer as well. Really digging it. Look at that. the imperfections in the wood, the discoloring. I don't know if it's discoloring, but the variance in coloring, it's all pretty good. Yeah, and I'm going to have to rethink the brakes. I think we have a green light. I'm pretty sure. Let's go to that extra gear. We're in 3 in the low range, so we're going to go to the high range and go bottom left. See how that gear, it just disappears. If you look up in the guide up there, I'm going to split it. It's showing no gear, but I'm clearly in gear. If you were out of gear, it would say neutral. And I'm not gonna go back down for 4th gear. I'm just gonna go right up to 5th. So that was pretty cool. So that other gear does work, and there is a slight variance between the gearing to it between that and 4th. I actually prefer to go to the hidden gear over 4th most of the time. It helps to go to 4th instead of the hidden gear if you are on a hill. Just something that I've found. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that map up there. Let me get rid of me. There we go. You can see that map. Kind of see where we're going. Well, you guys don't care. You guys don't want to look at a map, do you? You guys want to probably rather see the shifting. I don't know. We'll do that. So we only got 55. We're above 50 right now. That's pretty impressive, and we still got a lot more to go to. We're just probably not going to ever have the momentum to get up there, to be honest with you. Jake isn't bad on it. It could be a little bit stronger, but we have 150,000 pounds on us too, so. Slow it way down coming into town here. But that Jake is on right now. And I just got it on the strongest stage. Whoa. We'll just let that bring us to a stop. We're going to be splitting everything from here on up. Oh, turn the Jake off. Still have the Jake on. A little bit of a climb, so we'll just keep it right here for right now. And it's kind of hard to tell unless you get out and really see how wide this thing is. Or you know what? I have a better idea. We'll go top down. It's basically the whole frickin' lane. You don't have a whole lot of room for error. I'm glad I went back to that view. The hood mirror, take a look at it, is helping a whole lot. If there was something hidden, I wouldn't be able to see it beyond that trailer because it's so wide. So having the hood actually matters. This is where I want to sit. See how that right hood mirror, I've got it pointed all the way down and all the way out to the right, and it's still kind of hard to see. But I would probably have a better time of seeing traffic than I would right here because I'm blocked by the trailer again. Again, that isn't a problem of the truck at all. It's just whenever you have a wide trailer like that. But yeah, that hood mirror, if that right one could be raised a little bit more, that would be great. So we only got about 30 minutes left. What else do you guys think about the truck? What other sort of options would you guys put on it? And oh, come on, man. Bro, I got 150,000 pounds behind me. Come on now.
Yeah, that's what your mom said.
hate when the game does that to you. Just throws a truck right out in the middle, but it's so realistic, isn't it? So realistic. There's no option for a shifter, but look at that thing. Very unique, but typical of an older style Mack. She was yelling at me, that's my fault. Let's go back to 4 low. Yeah, you gotta, if you're gonna haul this trailer, you better have all 18 gears, or in this case, 20. Oh, a little bit of a glitch. Might just be going in between sections of the map.
100 yards, turn left. Turn left.
Did we miss him? Yes, we did. Looks like we're just moving logs over this other depot here. Oh, we better get back. Especially how wide we are.
100 yards, turn right.
Warehouser. Yeah, I'm liking this truck, man. I'm really liking it. Whole new model there for this one. Looking pretty good. Looks like we're going up here on the left like we normally do. This is going to be kind of crazy because this is one of the ones where you got to be pretty close to the actual building. I'm monitoring it here, even going in the gate. So sometimes you have to back up, and if I have to back up, I'm not going to be able to see anything. Let's see how close we are to those 2x4s or 2x6s. I'm just making it by. Oh, I hate when that happens. I think I was zoomed in on the camera. They might give it to us. But just to give you an idea, if you decide to operate this trailer, I'm going to go ahead and pull forward a little bit more so I can keep it close to the building. Realistically, they want you to keep it out of the way. Hit the horn so they know we're coming back. And we'll go back in the lowest of the reverse gears. This is what I'm seeing in the mirror. Could help a little bit on the hood. I got logs everywhere, so I'm just waiting for the beep. I know I'm going back straight, but in real life, I would not want to back one of these up. Not at all. You wouldn't be able to see something until you felt that you hit it. Anyway, parking brake is on. Let's go ahead and get parking lights only. Close these things and shut down the engine. And a little short drive from Lufkin to Lufkin, but it was a little slower because of the load. I mean, when you're hauling 150,000 pounds, that's what you get. If you haven't already, think about picking up this this wide trailer, this heavy logging trailer from 850 Modding. It's a good one. And look, this Mack RD800, completely free. Get it in the beta on VD Modding's Patreon. You don't even have to be a paid subscriber. You just have to subscribe and be a member on Patreon. They'll throw him a few bucks if you think he deserves it, and I definitely think he does. This is going to be one of the first times, because he's built the R700 based on the Harvin model, did the Superliner based on the same model. Now he's doing a completely different model with the outside in this RD800, and he's going to be doing another version of the dash. So that right there by itself, plus all the other details and options that we get to build it, I think that's worthy of something. So drop him a few bucks if you want to, for sure. No pressure, but just letting you know, it's free is always a good deal. This is an amazing deal because of the quality. Congrats, VD Modding. Got a few little things that you can touch up, and I'm sure you're fielding 1,000 other questions and suggestions, but thank you for what you do. And don't forget to enter for the trailer giveaway, the Moss Chain Floor trailer giveaway on Sunday's video. Make sure you enter by Saturday by putting a comment down in the comment section, Moss, M-A-S, and that will enter you to win that trailer from Southern Skinning. Again, Southern Skinning, thank you for making this possible. Anyway, if you have any questions about the truck or the trailer, go ahead and let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed what you saw, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so you can see all of my videos. And I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.